when it comes to transfers, there's only one man you want to speak to. Alex Crook comes along. Alex, a very, very good morning. How are we, Alex?
Good morning. Oh, well, how are you two? You recovered from the weekend, Gabs? You okay now?
I'm just waiting for my response, to be honest, Alex. When the post comes every morning from now on, I'm going to be looking out for my reply from the PGMOL.
What happened?
You can't rely on the post these days.
You what?
I sent them a letter.
Why?
Complaining.
Complaining about what?
About the decision.
Oh, sorry.
For Roger's goal, I sent a letter. I posted it on
no
Tuesday.
Reply?
Not yet. I posted it on Tuesday, so hopefully by next week I'll get a reply, Alex.
Crookie, where do you stand on this?
Listen, obviously a massive error was made, but I think if I was Gabs, I'd focus more on Villa's performance for the first 75 minutes than one referee mistake. I thought they were dreadful. If you can't beat this Manchester United team, you don't deserve to be in the Champions League.
Let's move on then. Crookie, has Cunha, has that been done yet for Manchester United?
Yeah, pretty much there. We're awaiting him to undergo a medical. There was a little bit of haggling, as is Sir Jim Ratcliffe's style, in terms of the structure of the £62.5 million payment. It needs to be paid over 2 years, an upfront payment and then a payment at the end of this coming season and one at the end of the following season. United tried to spread it further. Wolves weren't open to negotiating, so in the end, United agreed those terms. He's going to take the number 10 shirt, is my understanding. That was a big part of the conversation, so that's another pretty big indication that Marcus Rashford has no future at the football club. And I think this could be a decent signing. Listen, we all know Matheus Cunha's reputation. Maybe he's not the best on the training pitch, but I think he has that little bit of star quality.
Very good
and that
player,
aura that United are missing at this moment in time. I think he'll be right at home at Old Trafford.
Yes. Well, they're trying to structure this financially. Does that mean that Liam Delap will not be going to Man United as well?
Well, it's looking less likely. We reported on talkSPORT last night that Liam Delap are given the green light to a move to Chelsea. I think that the fact United aren't in the Champions League and Chelsea are, having beaten Forest on the last day of the season, is a big factor in that decision. We know he wants to play at the highest level in European football. He wants guarantees of minutes as well. So interesting if he does end up at Chelsea, as looks likely, what that means for Nicholas Jackson. Do they find a way to try and shoehorn them both into the team? But I think this is a shrewd piece of business for whoever signs him. £30 million release clause for a player who scored a dozen goals in the Premier League last season. What's not to love?
He scored a crack against Villa as well.
Yes, very good player.
Step over and bang.
Yes.
He puts himself about and he works hard as well, strong as well.
Crookie, this is a player that I love, and I'd love my club to go and get him. Mbeumo, 20 Premier League goals this season. He's at a great age as well. Crookie, 25. You know what you're going to get, don't you, from Mbeumo?
Yeah, you do. And actually, the biggest compliment you can play him and Johan Wissa, who also has suitors this summer, is that Brentford didn't miss Ivan Toney, did they? Because those two more than made up for his goal output. We know Manchester United have held talks with Mbeumo's representatives. That was a story we broke exclusively on talkSPORT earlier this week. He's on Newcastle's list as well. I think Brentford, that they seem to know when is the right time to cash in on their players, and I think they are preparing for the fact he will leave this summer.
What about the rumour flying about Jordan Henderson might be going back to Sunderland?
Yeah, there's definitely substance to this. I think the expectation in the Netherlands is that he leaves Ajax in this transfer window. Obviously, he's on decent wages there, and maybe they're looking to rebuild the squad and bring in younger players. And I think if he's going to come back to the Premier League, because you've still got this sort of Saudi Arabian elephant in the room, I think Sunderland is probably the one club where he wouldn't have to answer any of those type of questions. He's a club legend there. He was watching at Wembley as they won the Championship playoff final on Saturday. And I'm told Sunderland seriously mulling over bringing him back. And they're a young squad, Sunderland. It made their achievement at winning promotion all the more impressive. But he would bring valuable experience to that dressing room.
Crookie, also Manchester United, they're spending money. You know, they're bringing in Cunha, they're bringing other players. But they've got problems with Marcus Rashford, £40 million that maybe clubs aren't willing to pay. Anthony, that was the real Anthony last night when he played against a decent left-back. Couldn't do anything.
Agreed.
He's coming back to Manchester United. Sancho, Chelsea might pay $5 million to send him back to Manchester United. How are you going to get these players and get a decent fee for them?
That's the problem. It's the problem United have been battling for a number of transfer windows now. There's players they want to get rid of. Casemiro will be one of them as well because he's on massive money. They don't want to take pay cuts, and it's difficult to find clubs willing to take on their salary. In fairness, they did do quite a good deal with Villa last year, where Villa picked up the bulk of Marcus Rashford's wages. but I never saw it feasible that they would sign him permanently because he's on such huge money, and that would smash Villa's pay structure. I actually don't think he was brilliant for Aston Villa. A lot of people were saying at one point he proved Manchester United wrong. I'm not sure he did. But one club he wants to join is Barcelona. And actually, that puts Barcelona in quite a strong position to go to United and say, look, we're not going to pay 40 million for him. We'll take him on loan. We'll pay the bulk of his wages. I think that's probably the most likely outcome. Sancho's a fascinating situation. Scored a really good goal off the bench last night. Will that swing it? Did Chelsea pay the 25 million to sign him permanently, or will they pay the clause and send him back? Either way, I don't see him having a future at United either.
Alex, what will you do in the close season now? You know, we've got the big game Saturday. What will you do after that? You still going to be working, or are you on a beach?
Always working out. We've got this early transfer window, haven't we, because the Club World Cup actually opens officially this weekend, albeit only for 10 days. Then I'm going to jet off to Spain, try and get a bit of sunshine, a bit of relaxation, maybe a few drinks by the pool. Then I'm back again, and then off to Portugal in July, plus Royal Ascot, Glorious Goodwood. So I've got plenty to keep me busy.
Nice one, Alex. Enjoy.
Top man,
Thank
Cookie.
you. Speak later.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.